no, I can't understand any of this. What do I order?
Buenas tardes, ¿está lista para pedir?
Wait, what did he just say?
¿Qué le gustaría comer?
I don't speak Spanish.
If you've ever felt kind of nervous about stepping into a restaurant in a Spanish-speaking country, well, you are in the exactly right place. I expect you to practice your pronunciation right along with me today. Make sure you're using your most authentic Spanish accent.
Section 1. Choosing your Spanish eatery. Because before we can even think about ordering our food, we have to properly identify where we're actually going. You see, in the Spanish-speaking world, not every single place that serves food is just a generic restaurant.
Notice how incredibly close some of these English terms are to their Spanish counterparts, but they have a distinct, really beautiful twist in pronunciation. If you want a traditional sit-down dining experience, you're looking for El Restaurante. Listen to that crisp E at the end and roll that R, El Restaurante. If you just want a drink and a quick bite, you'll head to El Bar. For a classic tavern, maybe something slightly older and full of character, look for La Tasca. And for a smaller, more informal spot, perhaps cafeteria style, you'll want La Cafeteria. And this brilliantly illustrates one of my absolute favorite cultural gems. If you're traveling, especially in Spain, you might come across El Mesón. This isn't just a place to eat, it's a rustic inn. These places are often totally packed with incredible local history and stunning traditional architecture. So when you see El Mesón on a sign, just know that you are in for a very cool, very historic dining experience.
Moving on to Section 2, Booking and Getting Seated. Let's see how this builds as we actually walk through the front door or perhaps pick up the phone to secure our spot. So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding the difference between just being understood and being culturally polite. If you walk in and say, Quiero una mesa, I want a table, they'll understand you, but it's very direct. Only emphasizes that Quisiera is the polite, culturally preferred way to make a request. It literally translates to I would like. Memorize this word, it will absolutely open doors for you. Quisiera. Let's put that polite vocabulary to use, shall we? If you're calling ahead, you will say, Quisiera hacer una reserva para, and then just add your number of people. For example, para 5 personas. The host on the phone will likely reply by asking for a name, saying bajo el nombre de, under the name of. Be listening closely for that. Now, what if you just walk in and want a casual spot? You can ask, ¿Podría sentarme en el bar? Can I sit at the bar? Practice that flow with me. ¿Podría sentarme en el bar?
Section 3, Decoding the Spanish Menu. Felicidades, you're seated. Now, decoding the Spanish menu is really all about understanding the rhythm of the meal. In many Spanish-speaking cultures, meals are very distinctly structured. First up, you have your starter. You'll often see this listed as el primer plato on the menu. Listen to those strong R's, el primer plato. Literally, the first plate. You might also see it written as entrante or entrada. Following that is your main course, usually called segundo, the second. Or you might see it referred to as el plato fuerte, the strong plate. Actually, scratch that. Sometimes you might even see el plato combinado, which is a mixed plate where the main course and side dish come together, which isn't always the default.
Now, what's incredibly helpful is just how flexible Spanish dining can be regarding serving sizes. If you aren't absolutely starving, you don't have to commit to a massive meal. You can order una media oración, which is just a half portion of a dish, and of course, there are las tapas, small snacks or finger foods. As our source notes, it's incredibly common in Spain for students to gather at a small cafe after school just to sit and share some tapas.
Section 4, Ordering like a local. You know exactly what you're looking at, so let's get that food to your table. I want you to treat this specific phrase as your ultimate travel hack. If you're in a foreign country and you have no idea what the local specialties are, just close the menu, look right at your waiter and ask, ¿Qué me recomienda? What do you recommend? Notice that me right in the middle. It's an indirect object pronoun showing who the recommendation is actually for. It's for me. ¿Qué me recomienda?
Now, earlier I taught you quisiera as the polite textbook standard for I would like, but I promised you a masterclass, so let's look at how the locals actually order. You're gonna hear an incredible variety of phrases, depending on the region. You might hear me pones, literally, you put to me, or me das, you give me. You might hear tomo, I'll take, or para mí, for me. And yes, sometimes in really casual settings, just a simple quiero. Be totally prepared to hear all of these variations buzzing around a busy restaurant. I sincerely hope you never ever have to actually use this phrase, but as your professor, I really must prepare you for everything.
If the waiter sets down a plate of squid and you definitely ordered chicken, you need to firmly but politely say, "Esto no es lo que he pedido." This is not what I have ordered. Let's try it together with total confidence. Esto no es lo que he pedido.
Section 5. Understanding your waiter. The absolute crucial point here is that communication is a two-way street. It's simply not enough to just shoot phrases at your waiter. You have to comprehend what they are firing right back at you.
When the waiter approaches the table, this is the classic question you're going to hear. ¿Están listos para ordenar? Are you ready to order? Sometimes they might use the verb pedir instead of ordenar. Now, if you're staring blankly at the menu in a panic, just take a breath and reply, "Un momento, por favor." 1 moment, please. Or, "Necesitamos más tiempo para decidir." We need more time to decide. And this brilliantly illustrates how geography actively changes language. When asking what you want in your glass, the waiter might say, "¿Qué desea beber?" using the verb beber for to drink. But Imperial highlights a fascinating regional nuance. In many Mexican restaurants or areas speaking a Mexican dialect, they lean heavily toward using the verb tomar instead. So be ready for it. ¿Qué desea tomar? Don't worry, both mean the exact same thing in this context.
Look, sometimes a restaurant simply runs out of fresh ingredients. If you order the special and the waiter replies with, "Lo siento, no tenemos," brace yourself. It means, "I'm sorry, we don't have." Sometimes they might be exceptionally polite and say, "Lamento, no tenemos." Just be flexible and always have a backup choice ready from that menu.
Okay, the food arrives, everything is totally correct, and the waiter gives you a warm smile. They will almost certainly say, "Buen provecho." This is the classic cultural send-off you'll hear across almost all Spanish-speaking countries. It simply means, enjoy your meal.
Section 6. Coffee, checks, and our cheat sheet. We have eaten, we are absolutely full, but we are not quite done yet. Let's conclude our masterclass with caffeine and finances.
Coffee culture is vastly different abroad, and understanding these ratios is vital. Café Solo is just normal black coffee. Café Americano is highly popular in Latin America. Now, if you want just a tiny splash of milk, order a Café Cortado, literally a coffee cut with milk. But here is do not expect the American standard of a coffee with just 2 tablespoons of cream. A café con leche can often be half coffee and half milk. It's a lot. And finally, if you like iced coffee, you can ask for café con hielo. Before you hand over your hard-earned money, you absolutely must understand tipping, or la propina. Tipping rules vary wildly depending on the specific country you are visiting, so it's incredibly smart and culturally appropriate to just ask, "La propina está incluida?" Is the tip included?
When you are completely finished, catch the waiter's eye and say, "La cuenta, por favor." The bill, please. And hey, if you're traveling with friends and want to gracefully avoid doing complicated math at the table, you can just tell the waiter, "Nos gustaría pagar por separado." We would like to pay separately. This is extremely common and perfectly fine to ask.
Okay, class, we have reached the end of our explainer. I want you to grab your phones right now and screenshot this cheat sheet. This is your definitive top 10 survival guide. Let's recap them slowly with perfect pronunciation. Number 1, quisiera, I would like. Number 2, la cuenta por favor, the check, please. Number 3, ¿qué me recomienda? What do you recommend? Number 4, una mesa para dos, a table for 2. Number 5, un momento por favor, 1 moment please. Number 6, buen provecho, enjoy your meal. Number 7, para mí, for me. Number 8, la propina está incluida? Is the tip included? Number 9, café con leche, coffee with milk. And number 10, which we haven't explicitly covered but you will definitely need, ¿podría ver el menú? Could I see the menu? Master these 10 phrases and you can confidently dine anywhere in the Spanish-speaking world. So the only question left is, will your next adventure lead you to a bustling tapas bar in Madrid or a historic mesón in the countryside? The table is waiting for you.
Ready to order your first tapas like a true local? Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a masterclass. Hasta luego!